Okay, here we go. I'm going to write the cosine and the sine for each one of these special angles right here, okay? And I'm not going to draw the triangles. I want you to visualize them. I've given you a good head start, right? I've shown you on the circle where it is, but let's figure it out. If I drop this straight down like this, then what's the cosine? That's the longer side, right? So it's the square root of 3 over 2. So that's the square root of 3 over 2. Now the short side is going to be a half. See, once you get the hang of this, it goes pretty easy. The only thing different in the other quadrants is just the signs, right? Negative, positive, right, and that kind of SIGN, right? Okay, so 45. Now, we know what the lengths of a 45 are. So the cosine of a 45, if I dropped it down, would be the square root of 2 over 2 and the square root of 2 over 2 as well, because both sides are the same on a 45. What about a 60? That's right, the cosine's a half and the sine is square root of 3 over 2. All right.
It's just the back, like back.
Yeah, that's right. It just exactly right. It's just the reverse of these. We should have gone to 90. Let's go to. I'm sorry, 0. What about 0? What's the ordered pair here? It's 1 0. It's not 0 0. 0 0 is right here. 1 0 is right here. Okay. So what's the cosine then of 0 degrees? Do you understand why I'm writing these?
Yes.
What do you call it? These ordered pairs? Because the first one is the what? Talk to me. It's the cosine, and the second one is the sine, okay? And so all I got to do is just visualize what those ordered pairs are, and I can say, oh yeah, that's the cosine and that's the sine. In fact, I don't even visualize the whole ordered pair. You know what I do? I visualize just a triangle, and if I want to find the cosine, I'm just thinking of the one along the x-axis, right? And if I say the sine, I'm just thinking of the one along the y-axis, okay? Again, what did I say the other day? I said to practice this in your head. Walk around if you're not doing anything, if you're just sitting there, you're waiting for something. I'm dead serious. Sounds a little dorky and geeky, but I don't care. This is what you need to do. You need to sit there and think about it. And just, if you're sitting there, just think, okay, 60 degrees. Just make up one. Say, okay, what's the sine of 60 degrees? Okay, 60 is the steep one. Sine, oh, that's the longer side. That's the square root of 3 over 2. You got to do that, all right? The more you do that, the better you're going to get at this. Let's go through this a little quicker because we're running out of time. This is 0, 1, so the cosine would be 0 and the sine would be 1. And the tangent, you could always do the tangents. We'll do that later. What about this one, 120? Now we're in another quadrant. It gets a little trickier. You may need to write it down. You might be able to visualize it, but if I go like this, then which one is the cosine? That's the short one, isn't it? And the sine is the long one. So that helps me. So it's negative 1/2. Good, Alex. Because you're going to the left, you're going up, and it's square root of 3 over 2. All right? 45 is easy because you know both sides are the same. It's negative square root of 2 over 2 and positive. Because you're going to the left and you're going up. That means the cosine's negative and the sine is positive. Okay? Right here, it's going to be negative, positive, but what's the numbers going to be? Negative square root of 3 over 2 and positive 1/2. You get the idea? See, it gets really easy after you start going around. But we're going to keep going. How much time? I got like 3 minutes left? 4 minutes? Or when is this? 36? Okay, I always forget. All right, so this is what? Negative 1, 0. So that means the cosine of 180 is negative 1, and the sine of 180 is 0. You got it? That's why we're doing this. Look, if I said, looking at this chart right here, what's the cosine of 120? Quick. Negative 1/2, right. You're just looking for the first one, right? What's the sine of 150? Positive 1/2. Okay, so when you have them written down like this, you can just look at it, and it's pretty easy to see, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Let's do this one right here. This ordered pair. So I'm going long and then short. So what is it?
They're both negative.
They're both negative. In the third quadrant, they're both negative, aren't they? Because I'm going left and I'm going down. Look what I'm doing. I'm going to the left. That's the long, isn't it? So that's square root of 3 over 2. And I'm going down. That's the short. So that's a half. So it's negative square root of 3 over 2 and what? Negative 1/2. 45s are always the easiest. That's right. All you got to do is basically just remember the signs, don't you? All right. And down here, so we're going over what? Short and then long. So it's negative 1/2 and negative, square root of 3 over 2. Will I have time to finish this? What is this ordered pair? 0, negative 1. So the cosine is 0, the sine is negative 1. What about this one right here? I'm going over what? Short and down long. So it's positive 1/2, and I'm going down negative square root of 3 over 2. That's correct. I don't think the bell's... No, the bell is not rung. Not yet. All right, let's do this one. 45, that's easy. So what about positive, negative? It's cosine's positive and the sine is negative, all right, in the fourth quadrant. So this is positive square root of 2 over 2 and negative square root of 2 over 2. Last one. You're going over long, going down short, so it's, that's right, positive square root of 3 over 2 and negative, oops, yeah, 1/2, sorry. I was looking down here and looking at this. Yeah, we covered everything, didn't we? So that's every single one. Within one circle, one time around the circle, that's every single special angle that we're going to discuss, okay? And it's the sine and the cosine. What if I did this? What is the tangent of 300 degrees?
Well, it's negative square root of 3 over 2 divided by 1/2. Negative 3 over 3.
You could do the math on it, or you could do this, right? It's 60 degrees, isn't it? See, at 300, the reference angle is 60 degrees. Do you see it? So what's the tangent of 60 degrees?
Square root of 3?
Just the square root of 3. Okay, but is it positive or negative? It's negative because you're in the fourth quadrant because you've got a negative over a positive. Okay, do you see how that works? So I could do the tangent as well. Would you agree it's much nicer memorizing the tangents? Because you could have done this. You could have gone negative square root of 3 over 2 divided by 1/2. Done the math, and you would have still got the same thing, wouldn't you? All right. It's a lot easier, though, just to have those tangent ones memorized, and then it's a piece of cake after that. Are we good?
Yep.
Okay. We're going to do some more tomorrow on this. This is actually kind of like the last half of 13.6, but I kind of, when I teach this, what I'm going to teach in section 13.7, I like to do what we just did right here first before we teach it. Okay, so this really isn't technically part of 13.6 according to the book, but if I was to put it and organize it, I probably would have put this in the same section. What we're going to do tomorrow is this. Listen, we're going to take this stuff, and it goes around in a circle, doesn't it? But we're going to do this. We're going to like snip the end of the circle, and we're going to stretch it out long ways. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these points right here. We're going to stretch it out, I'll say it again, just long ways, the only way I could think of it, okay? And you're going to see what these points do. So along the x-axis are going to be our degrees, all right? See our degrees, our 0, our 30, our 45. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this axis that goes like this, all right? And there's 0, and we're going to have 30, 45, 60, 90. And then this thing's going to have a y-axis. So it's just like a regular number line kind of deal. Remember the old number lines we used to do? And we're going to put some numbers here. We're going to plot them, and you're going to see what it looks like. Okay, I won't give it away. I don't want to give away the all the fun. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. Okay.